Good morning, beautiful people. You good? Sure you good? What you got to do? Open up, not man up. And you remember you're fucking amazing. Happy Monday. Well, rainy Monday. Daughter's not well, she's been sick. So, bit of a long night. But I'm up, I'm ready to go. She's still sleeping. I'm going to carry on doing the chapters for the overthinking that I started. I've got chapter 1 and 2. It's already on my page. When I look at it, it's on YouTube as well. So chapter 3 is called The Silent Killer. How overthinking affects your body. You'll be surprised. Here we go. You ever feel like your body's knackered, but you've done sod all? That's what overthinking does. It doesn't just mess with your head. It runs right on your body too. I used to think that stress and overthinking were all in the mind. But mate, it's a full body experience. It drains you. It sucks the energy right out of you. It's like you're running a marathon. But all you've done is sat there worrying about stuff that ain't happened. For me, it always starts in the chest, like a tightness that creeps up when you least expect it. At first you think it's nothing. Maybe just a little bit of anxiety or stress. But when you're in that overthinking mode, the tension never goes away. It sits there, nagging at you, making you feel like something's wrong, even if everything seems fine on the surface. That constant feeling of unease, it builds up. I can tell you there's been days where I felt so physically shattered that it's hard to even get out of bed. My muscles ache, my head pounds, my whole body feels like it's been through the ringer. And that's the thing about overthinking. It's like your brain's always on high alert. It drags the rest of your body along for the ride. You can't relax, you can't unwind, because your mind won't let you. Sleep, forget about it. Overthinking doesn't stop just because it's bedtime. In fact, it's like the brain decides to go into overdrive as soon as my head hits the pillow. I lay there staring at the ceiling, thinking about all the things I could have done differently, all the conversations I should have had, or worse, the ones I did have and might have messed up. Hours go by and before you know it, it's morning and you haven't slept a wink. Then you're knackered all day and the whole cycle starts again. Lack of sleep, that's a killer, mate. It makes everything worse. When you're tired, your mood goes down the toilet and you snap at people. You lose patience and you feel even more out of control. And the irony is, the more tired you are, the more your brain runs an autopilot, feeding you more crap to worry about. It's like a vicious cycle you can't escape. And then there's the headaches, proper mind-splitting headaches. They come out of nowhere, usually after a day of non-stop thinking about all the things that could have gone wrong. Your brain's been working overtime, so it's no wonder your head feels like it's going to explode. The tension gets so bad that it feels like your head's in a vice, squeezed tightly and tighter. But it doesn't stop there. Overthinking gets to your gut too. You know that sinking feeling when your stomach does flips? That's the anxiety kicking in, usually hours after overthinking everything and every little detail. You can't eat properly. You can't enjoy food because your stomach's tied up in knots. I've had times where I felt sick to my stomach just from worrying about things that in the grand scheme of things probably weren't worth the stress. Your body feels it all, mate. The stress, the worry, the constant tension, it wears you down slowly. Like a dripping tap that eventually floods the whole place. And the worst part? Most of the time, you don't even notice it's happening. You just wake up one day and realise you've been living in a state of constant stress for weeks, months and maybe even years. I'm telling you, overthinking is a silent killer. It sneaks up on you little by little until one day you realise that your mind's been running the show and your body's been paying the price. It took me a long time to see that connection, to realise that my constant worry wasn't just making me mentally exhausted, it was actually physically wrecking me too. The thing is, when you're caught up in your own head, you don't think about how it's affecting your body. You don't think about the toll it's taking on your health, your energy and your mood. But it all adds up. And if you don't find a way to break the cycle, you're going to end up being burned out, drained and feeling worse than ever. I started to notice it now, though, when my chest starts to tighten, when the headaches come or when I'm struggling to sleep. I know what's happening. I know my brain's on overdrive. And my body's trying to keep up. The hardest part is knowing when to slow down, when to tell myself, enough's enough, mate. It's easier said than done. Well, overthinking is like a bad habit, one that's hard to break. But the first step is realising what it's done to you, inside and out. Once you see it, once you know the damage it's causing, you can find ways to start fighting back. There you go, people, and the sun's shining through. Look at me all. Hope you're all good. Hope you enjoy it. I'll be back with chapter 4 in a minute. Have a wonderful day even. Big love to all of you, and I'll speak to you soon.